Hello everyone, my name is Kamyar and I'm going to teach you some MaxScript. This course is not super advanced and we will start with some basics. You don't have to know programming completely, but if you know a bit, it's nice. Otherwise, I'm trying to teach it somehow so it's friendly for everyone. So if you don't know programming even, you can learn some things about it. We'll start with the easy stuff, and then hopefully by the end of the course, we will be able to create a configurator. That means you can hide and unhide objects in a scene or in the car, change wheels and different things. So there will be more coming with it as well. Let's get into it. So the scripting section in Max is this part, and we will create a new script to get this window, and also we can open up this one by right clicking, open listener window. This is the log for the Max, like the result of your execution of the code will be shown here. Let's go ahead and create a teapot. You can see when I created the teapot, I got a line in here. This is a really cool feature of Max. If you didn't get anything, you can make sure that this option is on. What it does is that it will record anything you do in Max. For example, if I delete this, see, and if I create a new teapot, I get it here. One thing that I really liked to do when I couldn't do any code was that I really wanted to create these teapots like this, like, I don't know, 50 of them with a distance from each other. And then I wanted to have an offset, like it slowly increases to have more gap in between. It was something very simple and cool to try out. Let's do it. First we need to create a teapot using the script. We already have the code for that. We took it from here, was this line. And so this one is creating a teapot at this position, and then do you want it to be selected after it got created? Yes. And then with what radius do you want it to be? We can put this on 20, for example. I don't care about this one. Position doesn't matter, so the default position will be on 0. And if I do this, I get a teapot at 0. But I want to put this in a variable as well. A variable is just a holder for your data. So my teapot will be in this T now. And then when I do this, I can go ahead and by the way, Shift Enter is executing your line. If I delete this, I go here, I press Shift Enter, this line will be executed. Then I can do 2.pose equals to, let's say, 0, 0, 0. That means that if I move this and if I Shift Enter on here, it will go to 0. If I do, I don't know, 20, it will move 20 in the y-axis. Anyways, we keep this as 0. Back. Then we want to copy this and put them by interval. For that, we actually needed the position thing, and let's say a meter away from each other. So if I create another teapot, it will be 1 meter away. Nice. Now, what I can do is to copy this whole thing and do it 50 times with like 200. There will be another teapot. Or I can use something called a for loop to automatically create like 50 of them. We can do that by doing this. For I equals to 1 to 100, for example, do this. So that means for 100 times this code will be running, and each time I will be increased by 1. So now I is 1, the second time I will be 2, third time I will be 3. If I do this now, what happens is that I get 100 teapots in here. See, 100 objects. Because I'm creating all of them at the same position. To be able to have the gap in between, we need to have an offset to increase this number every time it's going through the loop. To do that, we create a new variable called offset, and we put it on 0 for the beginning, and we will put offset in here. So that this means that 0 offset is 0 here, so it will be 0. It will be 100 teapots at location 0. I'll just remove this. We need to increase this one. One way to do it is to write this. Offset equals plus 100. Oops, 100. I think that should work. No? Okay. Never mind. Offset equals offset plus 100. That means offset is 0. Here will be 0. First time it's going through the loop. It gets plus 100. Then this offset will be 100. And then here we will have 100. So the first teapot will be created 1 meter away. The next teapot, because the loop ends here and then it goes back up, I becomes 2. Offset will be 100 from the last time, plus another 100, it will be 200. So the next teapot will be 2 meter away. And so on until it reaches 100, and the teapot will be, I don't know, 100 meter away or 101 meter away. So we can try this. Boom! 100 teapots. But this is not exactly what I wanted, because we could do this anyway. I want the gap to slowly increase. Something that we can do with the code. I think there are other ways to do it without the code as well, but we want to try it with the code. So for that to happen, each time the offset needs to be more than the last time, gets like multiplied. We can do that by doing the same thing, but offset, and then we'll do this yellow multiplied by a number, not 1, because 1 is the same thing. We can do it 1.1, so it's a bit slowly increasing. Did we get it? Did we get it? Well, I need to make this a bit smaller so we can see. What am I looking at? There's too many teapots. Yes, and then we go to the left view. Yes, we have it incremental. So we got what we wanted. Nice. Now you can play around with this formula and make them do weird moves. Maybe you want to make a bridge with these. They are not teapots, they are like columns. You want to make a bridge, you want to make it circular. You can do all that. You can try some fun other things for this lesson. But first of all, let's try to delete everything with the script, because we are programmers now. We do everything with the script. If you do this in Max, let's have something selected, and if I shift enter in this is a $sign. It will show me the information of the object selected. If it's a box, it will be, this is the type of the object, this is the name of the object, and this is the position of the object. But if I do a $sign after the $sign, it will select everything. It will get all the objects in the scene, but won't select them. But if I write select before that, it means select everything. It's the same as Control A. Select everything, and then I can do delete selection. All deleted. Nice and easy. I can just move this to the top of my code, and then I have it. So like every time I run the code, it will delete everything in my scene. So if I do modifications, I don't have the previous teapots in here. That's nice. So let's do some cool stuff. Let's move the height. So when we copy them, they slowly go up. We can do that by doing the same thing. We will name this offset y. This is y-axis. And then we copy the same thing, do the same thing but in another axis. Do z and v and c, and we need to create another variable up here for z axis. Yeah. Well, I guess if we run this, we see something interesting. Was it the wrong? Oh yeah, I didn't put it here. So we created the value, it got calculated, but I just didn't put it on the right place. Now it should be position Z, it will be affected. I will go to the correct view. Wait, why do I? Okay, this is the, I have to go to the left. Yes. And we'll look at it. So as you can see, our first teapot is not on 0. We want to fix it. We'll fix it. So that means my first offset has to be on 0, this one. So what happens is that it's 0, then it gets plus 100, then it gets created. Well, what we can do is to just adjust the order of these. We can put them after the first teapot gets created. Yeah, that should work. Let me do it again. Yeah, it's here, and then this affected as well, the second one. Nice. So it's going up. But maybe you want to have a curve on it. It can go any way you want mathematically. But just let's try it for the sake of the fun. We can add a ratio variable and then put it on like maybe 0.01, maybe 1. Yeah. And we say every time in the loop you go, you multiply less and less and less and less. You can do here ratio equals to ratio minus 0, 0, 0, that's 0, 0, 5. We put this on 1, so at the beginning it's 1, but then slowly gets less or more. Let's say more. Output ratio, and we add it here instead of this. Let's see what we'll get. That was not much different. Need to increase the value. Well, my viewport is not very happy. Okay, we increase the value a bit more. Let's see with 0.1 what happens. Oh yeah, so it's the gap between them is getting increased. But I want some curvature, and that's not happening. Sting, what should I do to fix this? Yes, after thinking really hard, it works, but I should have put it on one angle to one axis to so for it to be visible easier. So I think it's too much right now. It's going too much up. I can make it a bit less and maybe like this. Yeah, now it's slowly going up. Pretty cool. My viewport is not happy. Then you want it to come down. I think if you put minus, it will be even nicer. Yeah, something like this. I mean, you can figure out the formula to do whatever you want to do.